talking about John Courage. I want to know if John Courage supports making this committee.
I support making this committee more representative of the community.
That's what we want to hear. Give him a round of applause. So that's a yes. That's a yes to number 2. Are y'all keeping score here? All right, now let's go to number 3. The FCC and NFA demand the city of San Antonio and the city manager's office actively oversee, evaluate, and report quarterly to the public until parity has been reached for all SBETA certification types for the city that's over 70% minority. The city of San Antonio should improve the goals, for example, in the area of goods and supplies by at least 60%. Because if your own data, everybody say their own data.
Their own data.
Your own data makes you look really bad. Erik, you know you shouldn't have put this out to a group like us. You know we were going to whoop you with it, right?
It's great information.
Well, it is great information, but it's bad.
No, it's not. It's good information.
Well, it's not good for black folks.
No.
Well, for goods and services.
Okay, well, we're gonna let you speak in a minute. But let me get John's yes
All right.
on number 3.
Okay.
John?
I agree we should be more accountable publicly, according to the time frame every quarter, so people know the progress that we're making going forward.
Very good. Yeah, you know what? That's good. Because look, University Health System puts out a report. One thing I will give the University Health System, they put out a report every month. Now, if the University Health System, one of the largest hospital districts in the country and one of the best, they can put one out every month. Well, come on, city. The city could do the same thing. Okay? Now, number 4. Do you remember number 4? Go ahead.
Yeah, number 4 is simply suspend the conversations about changing the SBETA ordinance, that we stay race conscious, we don't move to race neutral, and we allow those African American, Asian, and Native American businesses to reach parity as we've been doing for other minority groups.
You know, I'd be willing to ask the city manager to go ahead and do that at this time so that we can take another look at this rather than move forward. However, it does delay the process. Okay. I want to make sure that we continue to supply everything the fire department needs to provide its services. So I hope it wouldn't extend it very long, but I think it's worth another look at by the council.
All right. Let's give John a round of applause for agreeing to all 4. Now you have the floor, Mr. Walsh. Give him the mic, because you really are the power. But Christopher is right. You know, you're one of the most powerful city managers in the country.
So power and authority, right? That's the division of labor down at City Hall.
Yeah, but let me tell you something. You're in a room full of people who know where the power is.
I appreciate it.
And we know, let me tell you something. Everybody say, he's breathing on the money. You're breathing on the money.
I do probably do that.
Sister, is he breathing on the money?
No, the sister knows I probably do that. So, look, number 1, thanks for inviting us. I was driving over here today, and I'll keep it brief because I know you're a stickler for the agenda and you want to get to the 4 answers, and I'm going to give you the answers. But I want to thank you for having this, because we haven't had this type of meeting, or at least I haven't been invited to one pre-COVID, right? And so it's been some time since there's been this big of a crowd, and I've been invited. So thank you for having us. Look, secondly, this is one of those things where there's no finish line. And I appreciate pointing out the poverty report, Chris, there are very few cities that look deeply inside. There are very few cities. And it's one of those things that we need to keep looking. And there are a lot of aspects to it. Contracting and community is one aspect of it. And we'll continue to do that. It does not show or say or conclude what everybody wants it to, right? But it does say what it needs to say. And we're going to keep doing it. You threw out a lot of things, Chris. And so a lot of which doesn't have anything to do with the 4 questions, that I'd be more than happy to talk to you afterwards. But I don't want to get bottled up, and he's going to call my time on the 4 questions here shortly. But I'd be more than happy to follow up with you. And we did see the email that you sent, and you'll be getting a response to those emails. The demand that we budget and staff a department, we're not going to do that. But how we allocate staff, we have staff in Economic Development Department that need to do this, and obviously we need to do a better job. We can have conversations about how we do that. The FCC and others are important stakeholders, and I'll be more than happy to kind of work with these groups on how we do that.
So you're not close to that?
No, I'm not close to the idea at all. Number 2, I am against getting rid of the goal-setting committee. That is albeit a system that has been developed and massaged over the last 30 years. San Antonio was one of the first cities in this country with a SPEDA ordinance. We do disparity studies every couple of years to make sure that we can continue to justify it legally, regardless of what the Supreme Court did last year. Our pattern and practice has been to update that disparity study every 5 years so that we can defend the wall. And that's what 2023 was about. We hired the foremost expert in the country who happened to move here from Chicago. She does it all over the country, and she gave us an expert opinion. And all it's meant to do is strengthen that. The goal-setting committee is part of that whole ecosystem. So I am against getting rid of the goal-setting committee. Now, if you're talking about adjusting the makeup a little bit within reason, right? Because I don't want to throw everything off balance. Obviously, in terms of contracting, what is key in all of these areas for all types of folks, right, is the availability. And that's an important aspect of this. So on its face, I'm against that. I'm happy to have more conversation, understand maybe what the end goal
Well,
is.
we appreciate it. So that's a no.
Yes,
That's
sir.
a no on number 2. All right.
Number 3, that's another no finish line, right? This is an attempt to continue to be more transparent, and we're doing more stuff online. This is really good information. And frankly, this information eclipsed the information that Colette Holt used when she did her report to council last year. And I know, I get it, right? It's never enough, right, in some areas. We can celebrate, and we should celebrate, big changes that we make as an organization, as a $3.7 billion a year corporation where we are contracting so much out. This is still good news. How we report, and whether it's on a quarterly basis, we're working on making sure all that stuff is online. I would challenge you, because I've been in the previous meetings where you also challenge other public entities. There is no public entity that does it in this county that does it better than the city of San Antonio, and we'll continue to lead the pack. On that note, so yes on 3, whatever it looks like.
Give him a round of applause for that.
Before I get to number 4, I do, and it's probably a larger conversation, but the city of San Antonio with 13 other public agencies has been working on a Supply SA initiative, which is meant to do really initially 4 different things, right? And that's every public entity except the school districts have been involved. Working through UTSA to have a one portal system where businesses to go, whether you want to bid on paper at the city or the county or UHS or Texas A&M, hiring procurement navigators to help businesses weed through opportunities in all those public entities, produce a annual procurement list. Chris mentioned that. We've been doing that since I've been city manager. That list still exists. There's a calendar where contractors can look and see what are we going to be soliciting over the next 12 months. Other entities don't do that, and we're going to work together and collaboratively to have one master calendar. And that effort is underway, and we come into council in April. We'll be briefing a couple of the council committees. That goes a long way, because a big part of that is joint reporting on all these things as public entities to the public and the business community. Number 4 I think the SPEDA ordinance is in a position where we've had one briefing, we've had several briefings with the council. There are a number of questions that the council's had. We're continuing as staff to address those issues. We'll be bringing it back to council for more conversation. I'll tell you, one of the biggest changes that I think that we're dealing with right now is some of the council has talked about making sure we're improving the data reporting and not just the reporting to the public, but making sure that it's having the effect desired. So it's continuing. It's not on the agenda for approval anytime soon, and we're going to continue to have those conversations with the council.
All right, well, thank you very much.
Yep.
We appreciate y'all being here. We appreciate you being here. We're going to ask that you can leave at this time,
Even though I'm the landlord of the building?
even though you're the landlord of the
All right.
building. Let's give them a round of applause. Gotta know when. Thank you very much, John. Tell your wife I said hi. Thank you, Brother Erik. Appreciate you.
And Chris, if you want to have follow-up conversation on some of the other ancillary issues, I'm more than happy.
All right, we'll appreciate that. Okay. Thank y'all very much. All right. Yes.
Hey, TC, just want to let you know Zeta's retiring in May after 53 years. We're going to invite you to the retirement.
That'll be beautiful. All right, tell her we appreciate her. All right, guys. We're going to go into right now the evaluation. Please take your conversations outside. Please take your conversation. And y'all give Mike Stendon a raise. He takes a lot of heat for y'all. All right. All right. At this time, Latifah, do you want to come and give everybody an update on bids and opportunities that y'all got coming up? Let's hear it for Latifah Jackson from the University Health.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for your time. Again, my name is Latifah Jackson from University Health. I oversee their supplier diversity program. We do have some bids out right now. If you are in construction and you have been looking for those bid packages to come out for helping us reach our 40% goal in our 2 hospitals, those are out on the street right now. You can go to Turner or Layton's website, or you can go to ours on University Health on our bonfire. We posted their packages as well. We also have our janitorial contract, which will be coming out within the next 90 days. And we will have another construction project coming out to renovate 2 more of our clinics. We do have a couple more bids that are currently out, but those are the ones that are upcoming. I'm not going to stay super long, but if you need to get a hold of me, my email is latifah.jackson@uhtx.com, and I'll Latifah, Latif, as in Frank, Jackson@uhtx.com, and I'll leave some pamphlets up at the front. But thank you.
I see we have a representative here from VIA. Upcoming, come on, sister, come on up, sister. I'm trying to remember, Miss Sampson. Miss Sampson from VIA Metropolitan Transit. Give her a round of applause.
Thank you, TC, and as always, it's a pleasure being here. VIA does have a lot of projects upcoming. Our biggest project is the art project, the advanced rapid transit, and there will be a lot of subcontracting opportunities available as soon as that project begins. I have cards with our QR code that takes you directly to our website, and you'll have the ability to view all of the upcoming solicitations at VIA. So I'll leave it on the table before I leave. Thank you.
Anyone else? We let the city, okay, you're with, come on, brother. CPS, right? CPS Energy.
Thank you, sir. Yep. James Massey, CPS Energy. I have some handouts. We have 31 active bid opportunities right now. I will leave them on the desk there. You can go to cpsenergy.com, work with us to see all of these in real time. TC, I'm a little salty that you called out UHS. We're also putting out a report. We have numbers ready monthly, but we update it quarterly. But you can go to the same site, cpsenergy.com, work with us, and you can find how we're doing on a quarterly basis with our swimming utilization, sir. But you usually ask me what's hot right now, right? We have a service district we have eyes on that we're going to be building, a big construction opportunity. We should be announcing that within the next 6 months or so. Including these active bids, we're going to have Heavy truck maintenance is included in here. Glass replacement, is included in here. A lot of components, HVAC, but all those, again, all these bid ops will be on that table before you leave. Sir?
Anyone else? Any other companies here or taxing entities? If not, we're going to go to Mr. Jay Evans. Is Mr. Jay Evans? Come real quick, and this is a minority bottled water company. You have the floor.
Good morning, how y'all doing? My name is Jay Evans. I'm the owner and project manager of Official Water. I am certified minority business. As they mentioned, they have not spending money with us, but we're trying to see how we can obtain contracts with the city of San Antonio as well as the county. Most of y'all always purchase your water from HEB or Walmart or Costco, but y'all not getting nothing for it. Come spend with us and you get a tax incentive. Thank you very much.
Let's give him a round of applause. Affordable health insurance. Could you come at this time, ma'am, and give your brief presentation? This is another one of our minority-owned women, Hispanic businesses.
Hi, if you notice on your agenda, it says Erica Chetwood. I'm here in her stead. My name is Diana Chapa, so if you could mark my name, Diana Chapa. I don't know if, I do work for Affordable Health Insurance Agency, AHIA. I don't know how many folks have been to the Spurs game. So if you see the banner, it's bright yellow. It says AHIA, AHIA. That's us, that's me. I work with insurance. AHIA was started with, like Mr. Calvert said, minorities, Rosie and Joe Chetwood. They graduated from Lanier High School. They started with one business, one shop. They have 23 offices right now, and they are in Del Rio, Uvalde, and a lot of different areas. So you might see their commercials. Erica does come out on a lot of the commercials, so she does represent and market us pretty well. I'm here with Rick. You may see the van as well. There's a big bright yellow van with all kinds of logos on it. He's our mobile marketer. He's out there on the streets. And we have an office, our office out of the east side. My home is on the east side. My dentist is on the east side. I live on the east side. So I try to keep it in a 12-mile perimeter to try to get all my business done on the east side. So obviously, southeast rather, over by 4614 East South Cross Boulevard, right there by the DeVita. That's where our office is located. So what I do and what we do is place folks on healthcare, dental, life, and vision. Obviously, we're insurance agents. I am a licensed insurance agent. But what I do is I work with Affordable Care Act. So if there's any questions or any problems, so I know a lot of folks are physicians and doctors' offices and businesses that may need folks that are in dire need of health insurance. Oh my goodness, it's a mess out there. So we have to, I quote them, I try to place them, do the best I can. There's benchmark amounts of income for subsidies. I know those benchmarks, and I have rating ability to try to get that out there for the folks. But anyway, my name is Diana Chapa. Thank you so much.
Okay, folks, we'll be moving along our agenda. I'm so happy to see so many familiar faces. Thank you all for coming today. Do we have any questions from anyone that's in attendance? Okay, hearing none, let's move on with our agenda. Next item is old and new business. Ms. Stryker, I didn't see Ms. Stryker. Did she come in? Okay, so let's go ahead and go over old and new business.
Anybody have any old or new business? Anybody here from University Health? Oh, just a minute. We're going to have to ask y'all to take your conversation outside, because we're basically we're in the most important part of our meeting, and your voices, we can hear them, and it's very disrespectful. All right. What we like to do is announce that we have the homegoing service of our historian, Aurelia Kimbrough, today at 2 o'clock from the First Bethany Church, 202 Noblewood. And so that's going to be at 2 o'clock. Our next meeting date is going to be April the 24th. And I'm going to just ask, if you don't want to stay for the evaluation, you can leave at this time because we're going to have a serious conversation about, basically we got everything with the exception of a no on on goal setting, but I think we can still get a victory there. So Sister Gabriella, who is one of the longtime sponsors and backers of the Fair Contracting Coalition and the Neighborhood First Alliance, I'm going to allow her to lead off about the evaluation and responses from Erik Walsh.
Well, it takes me longer than 10 minutes to formulate a response, but I'll respond in the way I know. There's an old story that talks about the mother that used to say to her children, "Be good now while I'm gone. I'm going to be gone for a little while. I'll be back in a little while." And she would say that occasionally to her children. "Be good now, be good while I'm gone." And so at long last, one of the children said, "Well, Mother, where are you going?" And she said, "I'm going to put your father's check in the bank." Well, the truth of the matter was, there was no check. But it was good for the children's self-confidence that she was putting their father's check in the bank. When, especially when Chris was talking, I felt like that. I think we're long enough kidding our children about having money in the bank. When I first came to the East Side 60 years ago, tell me if I'm saying too much, TC, I know you will, but I'll give you the permission. But I want to tell you, I thought it was important to put bread on the table. The people were so poor. Our thing was, to go to HEB in our congregation is feed people who came into the house and that. But that is still necessary. But for this committee, that's what not, and Mr. Erik should know, that's not what this committee is about. This committee is putting capital in the bank, so that when contracts, when a contractor calls you and says, "Could you do the plumbing at this particular construction site?" that you have the capital, or that you have the capital, you have the money to put up, so that you can make a bid. You can send in a bid. So I think he needs to understand that. We are not now we're not talking here today about putting bread on the table. We are here today about having money in the bank. So that's...
My evaluation, Mr. Calvert just asked me to give my evaluation, and I, to be quite honest, I came into this meeting this morning with bad news. And for those of us in here who do know me and know my work, you know that I've always been in the background. But there's multi-millions that are in front of me, and they will never know my name. And that's intentional.
When I came in here this morning, I brought the Sabeda ordinance, I brought the annual procurement guide, and I brought this very important information from the city. And I, again, do thank the Economic Development Department for putting out this information, because it is very important. But when I highlighted that $0 had been spent with businesses like mine and my sister back there, Tiffany Galvan, who's my business partner, one of the best in the game. When I think about fundraising, it's the two of us that I know her work. People know sometimes my work, but they don't, and they don't know hers, and there's a reason for that. And I need people to understand that we have so much to offer that we have offered to our community, and we are being institutionally starved, and we are being intentionally starved. And when I look at this, I keep thinking to myself, this is why we keep talking about recruiting for new businesses, because those of us like ours who've been around 7 or 8 years, we can't last because we're institutionally being starved from opportunity. And so when I came in here today, I already had bad news. And when I look around in my community, especially, there's so much suffering. There's so much suffering, it's ongoing. And people look at me and they assume that I'm okay. Because people like me, women, when we suffer, we still put on the dress. We still put on the makeup and the lipstick, and we still come out looking great. When in actuality, we have nothing. We have nothing but our pride. And so when I come here today with that bad news, I came here today because I knew I'm not the only person in this room that's got bad news. And I knew I was going to be amongst other people who are also trying to fight to change that, people who have made some serious power moves lately. I see y'all in here, some power moves lately because of the places that you were before. Knew that talent like ours existed, but refused to recognize it and refused to put value on it. So I'm not going to belabor it, and I'm not going to take the time. My evaluation from this conversation today is that we have some good commitment, some good awareness that we've raised. However, the fight starts today. And we cannot let up. And we have to continue, no matter what we're going through, we have to continue to show up, because guess what? I can't fight your battle and mine at the same time. I need you to. We have to fight this together. And several of us in this room are actually currently fighting. So I thank you for coming and making the time, because I know you could be so many other places. But you said, I'm going to be here today because we're not in this by ourselves. We are enough. We are enough to get where we need to be. We keep dealing with people who want to tell us that we're not, and they want to disqualify us. But guess what? We're still enough. And together, collectively, we're going to continue to fight. So I want us to understand again that today is the day that begins. The fight starts today. So if we have people in the room that are in the position to create opportunity to do business with our businesses, then let's do it. What is stopping us from doing it? Let's make it happen. I don't care what the dollar amount is. You see what the city is doing with us. We don't have the experience, therefore we can't even qualify. You have to get the experience somewhere. People have to create opportunity. We have to create the opportunity. If we're in the position to do it, let's do it. Stop trying to do everything alone. I keep talking to people all the time. They want to, I can do that by myself. I don't need a realtor. I can do that by myself. Oh, really? You want to go and figure out zoning and everything else by yourself? Good luck. You want to go see how many liens you have on that property and how we can get that? I mean, come on. These are the types of conversations that we have. Sure, you could try to do it yourself. You could try to write that grant, but you're not writing a grant. You're answering questions on the application. You're not a grant writer. Why didn't you call us? Because we want to be cavalier about things, but we're not realizing that we're actually taking away opportunity from other people, and we're making the bucket is small now because it's just you. But just think, if it was you and 5 other people, how much more could you get? So that's the evaluation today. Today is when we have to be strategic, and we have to work together, and we have to move forward together.
Let's give it up for Luana, each leader. Now, is there anyone from the Hispanic community, because you guys are in this too, is anyone here that would like to speak on the evaluation of what we got today or what we didn't? Any of you? Come on, don't all speak at once. Okay, ma'am, come on up. What's the name of your company? Come on, ma'am. Come on, ma'am. What is your, what's the name of your company?
I have the strength to speak because my sister just. I think something that is not often talked about is that oftentimes the city and people in power want to hire Latinas or Latinos only when they're palatable and are not speaking up for Black and brown people and other people of color. And people who make waves and people who challenge the system and challenge status quo, like me and like Luana, we are often overlooked for these opportunities because we are still fighting a system. Because I support nonprofit organizations that are especially routinely underserved and underfunded because they are run by people of color in the community, those people are not always getting the seats at the table. And so even when I stand up and make those comments, we are often put to the side of, oh no, this is fine, we're strong, we are doing all these amazing things. And something that Erik did not say is, who is the person from Chicago and what is their ethnicity? Like, yes, ma'am. Okay, that's good to know, but there's another woman from Chicago that is routinely used and she is not. But that is good to know. But still, my point still stands that for Latinas who are often the ones speaking up and making change and wanting to make the change to be inclusive of our community and to fight injustice, we are often overlooked as well.
Okay, last call. Okay, come on up, Rose. And we haven't heard from anyone from the Anglo community, and we got the Asian community here. We would like to get some comments from the Asian community and an Anglo woman or Jean or one of y'all need to say something. Here you go.
I'm Grace Rose Gonzalez, and I have been working, I worked with Chris and I worked with Jane Gonzalez on the SBAC quite a while ago, and now I'm at the county at the SWIMBY on Precinct 4. And if things look bad at this city, they're worse at the county, because we actually have had 2 disparity studies with nothing produced from them. We can't get, even though my team on the and Roy Shuffle, who has already left, he's also on the SWIMBY committee, Precinct 3. Even though we've asked hard questions and we try to find out where in legal is this disparity study, what are going to be our goals? Are we going to have goals? Is it going to be? Nothing gets answered. So we also need help in diving down into the county. Just as you brought them down over here, Erik Walsh, we need to see David Smith sitting in that seat and asking why. Why haven't we gotten anything done after 2 disparity studies and hundreds of thousands of dollars on both of them? So thank you so much. I don't have anything positive to say, except that you all are doing a great job. Thank you.
All right. Come on up, Jean. Daniela, did you want to say anything? Okay, come on up.
Yeah, I'm Gene Mark, and I wanted to thank you, TC, for keeping the pressure on, and it will pay off. And I think your point was excellent about the 14% versus the 7%. That, we're working with some misconceptions along the way, and we need to get rid of the misconceptions. And I would like to mention I got a letter to the editor in the newspaper today. So check it out. I'm mad about private school vouchers.
Thank you, Jean. Jean, one of our most loyal members. Sister Daniela.
So I think Luana hit it on the head on the fight starts now. And if there's one thing that I can say is over the last 2 years getting to know TC, if there's a group that can affect change in this community, the leadership is right here. And when I started my first fight with TC on getting raises for deputies, when you're in these first initial meetings, there's no end in sight. And we saw that change happen. So like Luana said, the fight starts now. Don't give up. Keep pushing through. We didn't get everything we wanted today, but we did hear people say that they were willing to sit at the table and talk about what we're asking for, and that's where it starts. So,
Thank you, Daniela. Come on, Mario. Come on up.
Good morning, everyone, again. Anyone else here who is Asian? I'm the only one, I think. That's so sad. So the Asian American community, a lot of us are actually business owners. But in this room, I'm the only one attending. So this is a dilemma, meaning there is some kind of detachment or a gap. So Asian Americans recognize the problem in the city when it comes to contracting opportunities and other things. But us, in our culture, we deal our own problems and we try our own problems our ways. Either we borrow or loan from friends or business owners. We do help each other. I think that is our strength as Asian American community, and I'm proud of that. And today I appreciate the fact that I am hearing this dialogue, and I like the fact that the city manager is here, and hopefully John Courage will become mayor. We have this, conversation and openness. And of course, I would like to thank first Christopher Herring. He got me with FCC, introduced me to FCC back in 2019, right? 2020. Yeah. And I would say that in the past couple of years, I know it's not there yet. There's a lot of improvement. In my community, based on my experience with how much the city gave us, all right, in the Asian communities, it's not there yet because we are so used to doing our own things. And with some problems, honestly speaking, a lot of them are aware, but a lot of them don't. Because what we do every single day is just make the best of it and keep going. Thank you. I'm Romelet Metz. I'm the Asian American Alliance of San Antonio Board, also the official publicist of Alamo Asian Chamber of Commerce. Yes, thank you.
Okay, everyone, I'm Charles Mario Henry, Sr. And you guys see, look around the room. You guys hear everybody with the passion? Look around the room. So we also now representing, we have Black and Hispanics and mixed people who increase that 7 to 14%, right? Because there's mixed, there's Black and Asians, there's Black and whites, there's, everyone in here, right? So we have to, I always say we need to build bridges, not walls, right? Look around, everyone in here is an expert in their field. Look around, partner around. In business consulting, that's what I do. I can't do everything alone. And right here in this room, get the numbers. A lot of you know me, some of my family members in here. You know. We got a lot of people I know in this room. So it's a huge Black and Hispanic family population, and I don't just come alone, never. Moreno, Jason Resendez, a lot of good people in this room. Look around, grab a number. I'm wrapped up. I love you guys any way I can help.
Hi, y'all. This is Cecilia Castellano, and this is my Uncle Henry.
Hi.
One thing I did want to mention is that we're still fighting the issue with the job order contract with the city of San Antonio. The Fair Contracting Coalition started paving the way and fighting this contract, and we're going to continue to fight it. Christopher Herring and I did go through a lawsuit because of that, but nevertheless, we're going to continue fighting for our minority companies because together we are stronger and together we are better. So let's keep fighting together. God bless y'all.
Hello, my name is Henry Rodriguez. I'm the Executive Director for LULAC Concilio Zapatista. And I am very proud to say that T.C. Calvert here, my man, and I go way back. Many, many actions together, very successful actions. So I also, oh, by the way, my son is a contractor. Small business, of course. Small business is the backbone of this country. It's a backbone. They take up the slack of all those major corporations. So having said that, I just want to say that some time back, I was reading the newspaper. Not very many people read the newspaper anymore. I do. And so I'm reading there, it says, Congressman Castro is calling out all those entities in our communities, in our city, in our county, that are lagging behind what they had promised some time back. They're lagging. So what do? I went before the board of CPS Energy. We have a great partnership now going, but I'm always learning something from this man right here, and my hat's it's off to him. Okay, TC, you're the man. But we will continue learning. I trained in community organizing under Fred Ross, the man that indoctrinated Cesar Chavez. And one day he said at a big old conference, I'm not here to teach you anything. I'm here to share with you what works for me, and hopefully I can learn from you what works for you. Thank you so much.
Well, I think I told you when I got up that 5 minutes isn't enough for me to get ready to give a response. I'm better prepared now. And if we were to consider what Chris said in his presentation and what Mr. Erik said in his presentation, I think Mr. Erik didn't say too much. And we better count on our fingers what exactly we're going home with that Mr. Erik promised us. So, because he didn't say too much.
Okay, so I'm going to give a real brief what I saw. Making sure I made eye contact with the people who I'm talking to. A lot of facial expressions where they look shocked. Okay, I meant for them to be with the truth. When we use terms minority, they hide with the terms minority. Minority can encumber so many people, but we were very specific in saying Black, Asian, Native Americans, because that's where the report that they gave you shows that there's discrimination. So taking emotion out of it, it's in black and white, it's in color, it's on every page. And there not one page looked good for Blacks, Asians, Native Americans. The last goal that we inserted, they said that they were going to take it to council and still. So the response isn't, we want to see how you can massage this Sabeta ordinance to make it to be what you want it to be. We're just saying, no, keep the ordinance the way it is. Of course, there are some things that go into the ordinance changes in which you need to know, like the city wants to get away from the language of historically underutilized business or hub. They said, oh, we don't need to have that vocabulary in the city. But yet at the federal, state levels, those hub designations mean something. When we're talking about lawsuits and the threats of lawsuits, they're using the same fear tactic, scare, to make the people on the north side believe that this is the best change to get to race neutral. So you all need to realize and understand and read your newspaper. The Sabeta ordinance has been tabled back in the winter of going to vote because they didn't have a consensus from us. And once we started raising our heads saying, no, we don't agree, then they had to pause. So we're not just saying pause, we're saying stop. Because we are in a fiscal year where Black, Asian, Native American businesses should still be what? Remedied through this disparity study. So we're asking, where are the contracts that we can apply for now? My encouragement is you go back, tell every Black, Asian, Native American business in the city to make sure that they are registered, that they are in the database, because they can compete right now. We're not talking about like next year, we're talking about right now, because that's the only thing we can control is right now. So that was my evaluation. I will follow up. Erik referenced that I sent an email. I sent an email to the city council regarding a contract that they made it so that it did not appear before the Sabeda committee. They just basically rubber stamped the words on a proposal that went out. And then when I looked at the language of that contract, it had really had a big multinational company that they're trying to give $5 more million to. So again, we fought hard, FCC fought hard to debundle a $10 million contract. So now they want to go back to the way it was, and they want to really snub us. I want to evaluate Mr. Calvert. Mr. Calvert, I have seen this man labor at his house, teach how to prepare for days like today, come up with agendas that are really defined. And you sit under this man, you learn, and that's what this process also is about. I give him an A++, because it's not only the people like Luana, who is like, for me, like a Shirley Chisholm, right? She's the only woman in this room that can say that she was inducted into the Women's Business Hall of Fame in San Antonio. Now let me put a caveat. She's a Black woman being recognized by a traditionally, historically white women organization. She's brilliant. She's beyond brilliant. And for her to make the comment, that's why I need for y'all to understand. She says that she saw dollars, zeros, zeros, zeros. She puts in the work and serves. She's nationally known. She's internationally known. But here, just like myself, I'll say this. Yeah, we were sued. But the lawsuit was meant to do what? To discourage y'all from fighting. This is Holy Week. Yeah, they want to silence us. I mean, they came at me, and I'm defending the city. I'm looking at the city policy and saying, no, you can't let a company that basically takes one website, multiply it by 5, put 5 different leaders in charge, call that Hispanic, call that Black, call that. And I called it out. And it was $10,000 for me personally fighting stage 4 cancer. That's the sacrifice that we take. And that's why I'm saying, be committed to this. Be committed to this. And then I also want to issue an apology. So my apology is I see men and women in this room who used to come to the FCC meetings and I attacked you because of who you worked for or what have you. So I apologize, because we do have to work together. We can't be divided. We can't let people separate us because we've come too far. So remember that as we go through Holy Week.
Wow, you guys, y'all gonna make me start crying, but let's thank security service for lunch. Guys, stand up. Give them a big round of applause. Is Pauline Pacina here? Pauline, come and you're going to do the benediction for us. Pauline came sick. Or do you want one of the other pastors to do it? Let's where's Alana Bell? Alana, come and do Alana, come on up here and bring who? Well, where is she? Well, where is she? Well, tell her, come on. She needs to come and let me know. Okay.
Hi, just real quick, on the note of Sabeda and on the note of recognizing all of these minority business, all of the Black-owned, Asian-owned, Native American-owned, I can speak on those behalves. But I also work for a nonprofit who represents and celebrates the Middle Eastern, North African, South Asian Americans who are minority business owners and who are, entrepreneurs just as much as the rest of us. And I think that something that a lot of people don't know is Arab Americans and Middle Eastern, North Africans, while they're not treated like white people, they're counted as white people in the census. And they don't count in the Sabeda study because they're not considered minority. And so in part of this fight, as we continue moving forward from today, I ask that we all continue and consider those people as well, I'm here for the fight with them. I'm here for the fight with you all. And so just keep that in mind.
Come on, Lana. Guys, make sure you have lunch with someone you don't know. The way you network at these meetings, we always ask people, have lunch with someone you don't know. A lot of you know each other in this room, but make sure you break bread with someone you don't know. What I've seen in the future and the past is that, as someone said earlier, the FCC has made some people multimillionaires in this town and have made some people very rich. Some of them in here now. Glad to see y'all show up because I know you're trying to get paid again. So anyway, let's have the benediction by Sister Alana Bell. Join hands with the person next to you.
Okay. Amen. And we bow our heads. Heavenly Father, most precious God, we just thank you today. Father, as we come to you, the first thing that we do is we just open up our hearts, our minds, and our souls, God, and we invite your spirit and we repent. Because we know, God, that we cannot even come to you if you even said in your word that if you got an ought against your brother, put it down, get it right, and then come back. So, God, this morning we lay everything down at your feet because we know that you are our God. You are our Father, the Father of love. You said, God, in your word that first we love ourselves as we love our brothers and sisters. Today, we are so diverse, even in this room, God. And we thank you that the love that we can even share, you said will cover multitudes of sins. So even the sins against us, against our businesses, against our homes, our families, God, you've given us the power and the strength to triumph even the more. Because you said the enemies may form, but they will not prosper. God, we thank you for eyes today that's able to see through all the plans and the tricks of the enemy to starve us, to stop us. But God, we know who you have called us to be. So we thank you today. God, we lift up, I want to say, Pastor Tommy Calvert, Sr. Because see, this is real ministry. This is the true ministry, not behind a building, but the one that can get out in the streets, the one that can turn over things, the one that has the power to be able to break things. So we thank you, God, for everything that he's broke, and we thank you for the things he's about to break even in the future to come. But as he has the oil on his head, we thank you that it falls upon us. We thank you that we are all breakers today. So, God, we give you glory for that. We cover every business in this place, every business that's to come. We know, God, that we walk in your path and your lamp will light our way, no matter what they say to us. We see the darkness. That's why we bring in the light. So this morning, we give you glory. We thank you for the caterers this morning. Everyone that has touched anything that is going to happen in this meeting, because you said blessings are unto all. So we do want to recognize them. But we give you glory today for what you're going to do in this meeting, what you're going to do with our businesses as we believe. Because you said that's the biggest thing. We must believe. We can't come wavering or shaking, but we got to stand firm in the authority and the power that you have given us. And today we move forward in that. We give you glory, honor, and all the praise in the mighty name of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Shake hands with the person. Shake hands with the person next to you and tell them they're doing a good job. Mario, you're doing a good job. Christopher, good job. Luana, good job. Good job. Music, please, Carlton King. I turn the program now over to Carlton